Alright, let's get straight into it today. We're going to be doing a Sword and Shield set guide for Monster Hunter Wilds. This is based around Title Update 1. I told everybody I would be making a set guide when Title Update 1 came out. It's out, so cool. Here we are. Quick disclaimer is that we are right behind the title update, like 2 days ago it came out, so there's going to be a couple of more niche sets coming later, some more math to be done, but for now, everything I'm going to show you here is stuff I know is already good. It's based off sets that we had in the previous update, just upgraded with a couple of new pieces here and there. So yeah, that's everything. Let's just go ahead and get straight into talking about what the sets themselves are. And real quick, before I start showing you the first set, we are going to go through multiple sets here. I'm going to show a few different options, so you don't have to just focus on the one. That being said, one set is just the set to rule them all. It is the best set, so if you only need one, we're going to show that one first, but stick around, I'll show you a couple of more things here and there. So the big set is just 4-piece Gore with Zoh Shia chest. It's extremely good. We really like this set. And for people who may not know, let me give you a quick refresher of why it's so good. I know most of you already know this, but again, for people who are new who may not know, let's just make sure we're on the same page. If you have at least 2 pieces of Gore equipped, when you enter combat with a monster, you get infected with Frenzy. And if you take the time to clear the Frenzy, you're going to get a buff. The Frenzy bar fills up very slowly when you have Antivirus here equipped, which you will with the set, so you don't have to worry about it even if you're a new player. And let's go ahead and clear that out. Again, I know most of you already know this kind of stuff, okay? I get it. Very common knowledge, but for people who may not know, let's just make sure we're all on the same page about why the set works the way it does. Okay, cool. We cleared it out. And now we have our blue cotton candy. So with the blue cotton candy, that means we've cleared Frenzy and we get a buff. Yay! If you have Antivirus 3 and 2 pieces of Gore equipped, that buff is going to be 5 raw and 25% affinity, 25% crit. A lot of crit, very good. We love having 25% crit. If you have 4 pieces of Gore equipped, then you're going to end up getting 10 additional raw on top of that. So that's going to be a buff of 15 raw and 25% crit. It's huge. It's a lot to have in an armor set that's already a pretty good armor set because of the slots available to it. So we combine all of that together, and ta-da, we end up with an armor set that is just pretty great. So here's the set. Here's the decos. Decos, pause if you need to go over all that. And yeah, this is just going to end up being the highest damage set we have available to us. The Gore buffs up pretty much the entire fight. It's great. It's wonderful. Here's the set. Case closed, right? Well, no, let's get into more stuff. So for weapon choice, Ardians are still the best. That's just how it is. The Zoh Shia weapon's pretty great, and you can totally use it. I'll talk about that later, but for now, let's focus on the optimization. Ardians, they're very good. We love this set, this weapon. Great. No, but really, you want to make a couple of status ones of these and then one of each element to element match. If you don't want to end up doing all that, you can instead just make the 2 status ones. I'd recommend Paralysis and Blast, what I have equipped on the set here. And if you want to see the reinforcements, we have the triple attack infusion for the initial ones and then 3 attack, 2 sharp. That's what I recommend. You can use 4 attack, 1 sharp, but as long as you get like a couple of attack boosts and 1 sharp, it's totally okay. Don't freak out. It's fine. Your weapon's fine. And to choose between these 2 different statuses, I would recommend Blast. It is a little bit more damage if you're playing well. I really like it. But Paralysis is really close. It's totally great. In multiplayer, its value goes up even more because everybody's building on the monster doing those procs. These perform very similarly. It's totally just a taste thing. Pick the one that you like more. It's fine. It's totally okay. So as far as decorations go that you put in these things, we always want to have a sharpness management deco. That's just how it's going to be. And pretty much all of our sets have enough crit to make Master's Touch very good, so you're on Mastery. Crit Boost 3 is what I would recommend all the time for your damage one. So always have Master's Touch, Crit Boost 3. Always. And an additional one we can add on is Offensive Guard 3. You always love having that. In this case, I use a combo deco with Handicraft because that just goes well with the status ones. If you don't have this combo deco, you can just use a Guardian one straight up. It's totally fine. Or if you're element matching, you can use one of Offensive Guard plus a single bit of that element. It adds a little bit of damage. It's really nice. Really cool. If you... Oh, wait. Real quick. Something you may see in a few matchups, I just want people to know this for when they do see it. You might see Mind's Eye pop up a little bit. This replaces Offensive Guard 3 in matchups like Gore Magala or Zoh Shia or Gravios, where Offensive Guard value goes down and the monsters generally present you with just garbage hit zones. If a hit zone is below 45 and you're hitting it with Mind's Eye, you gain 30% extra damage. That's a huge damage buff. And again, for those monsters I mentioned, they give you a lot of uptime on these terrible hit zones rather than good ones. So that's why you may see niche matchup considerations where people take Mind's Eye. That's a niche thing, that's an optimization thing. You don't need to worry about it too much. Just in case you see it, I want you to know why you're seeing it. Yeah, so that covers all that. If you don't want to run Ardians at all, you want to run standard weapons, you still want to be element matching. There's a couple of good status ones you could use as well. You see, I have a few of them here. I'll put a list in the video description of what all of these are so you'll know, what you need to be using. If you do equip these, again, always, 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 always have your sharpness deco. Master's Touch is great. And then crit boost 3, always great. This is a standard setup you're going to see on all of these. If you're running something like, I don't know, the Guardian Rathalos Sword and Shield, great Sword and Shield for fire element, then it already has Master's Touch in it. And instead, I'm just running Offensive Guard plus matching element fire in this case. It's totally fine. And then getting crit boost 3 on top. That's the standard for that. And yeah, that's an overview of the 4-piece Gore set. You may see speedrunners or very good solo players running a variation that looks like this, where we're running Agitator 5 instead, and a couple of changes. So, in short hunts, if you're killing the monster in like 4 to 5 minutes or lower, if you're getting down into speedrun times, then you're going to see people picking Agitator. I use it as well. And it's because when you have really good Agitator uptime, it could surpass Weakness Exploit by something like 0.5% of damage. It's not a ton, but in a speedrun and high level play, that can matter. So that's why you see some people opt for Agitator. Weakness Exploit and Agitator are very close. In general play, Weakness Exploit tends to be just a little bit better. Agitator and good play, solo, stuff like that, it is usually better. But there's another caveat to when people use Agitator in these builds, and that is the sharpness management. When you run Agitator, you don't really get as much crit as when you're running Weakness Exploit, right? Makes sense. Agitator is more raw skewed, Weakness Exploit, that's all crit. And without all that crit, Master's Touch gets noticeably worse. So instead, I'm running Razor Sharp / Handicraft as the combo deco. You basically need this if you're going to be running the Agitator set. And even with this, we're still down like 25, 30, something in that ballpark hits of sharpness compared to running the Weakness Exploit. So it's a much harder set to pilot in that sense. You do need to be making your hits count more. You do need to be running sharpness of combos and things like that. That's how it is. So yeah, generally we're going to be recommending things like Weakness Exploit over the Agitator set as a result of that sharpness management, of a result of it being not quite as uptime demanding as the Agitator set, and that's just how it is. So here's the set. This is what we want to be aiming to build. This is the set. But we'll go over a couple other sets here in a second if this doesn't suit your fancy. And before we get to those extra sets, let's talk about the mantle. Corrupted Mantle has been nerfed really, really, really significantly compared to pre-title update 1. It is like a third as effective as before. It's quite a bit weaker. However, with the way Sword and Shield plays, Corrupted Mantle is still quite good. We still really like it. You're still going to be seeing it a lot. It is the go-to mantle. But it is weaker than before, and it has real competition in the case of Evasion Mantle. Evasion Mantle now gives you a pretty substantial buff whenever you actually proc its dodge, and that buff is great. We do like it. I have seen a couple of people using the Evasion Mantle in runs. That's cool. You can see it, try it out. Just pick whichever of these two you want. Or if you really like the utility from these two, yeah, sure, go ahead and take it. It's just no longer Corrupted Mantle or Die. You have a little few more options to use in there when you're doing your builds. And one more thing before we get to the rest of the sets is that Maximum Might has been stealth changed in Title Update 1. So before, if you were using any stamina consuming actions relatively close to each other like this, you would drop your max might. As you can see, that's no longer the case. They've increased the leniency for it under the hood. I don't know the exact way it works, but all you need to know is that it's a lot easier to maintain your maximum might uptime now. So sets that are, not using the Fulgore bonus and other things like that, they're going to be a little bit better than it used to be, and the Fulgore set itself is going to be a little bit worse, but it's still fine. You can still use it, and that's why it's here on the list. So what the Fulgore set offers you instead of the Gore bonus, you still get the 2-piece Gore, you're missing the 4-piece Gore, and now you're going to gain this cute little extra bit of stamina. You can see it up there on my stamina bar. I have this little bonus stamina. It's great. And that makes it so that it is really, really, really hard to drop max might now if you're running this set. Before you would run the set more often because max might was harder to maintain. Now, since max might's easier to maintain without this little extra stamina bar, this set suffers a little bit, but it's still totally usable. And the damage difference between the 4-piece Gore set is only something like 1%, a little bit more than 1%. It's nothing huge. So if you are like newer to Sword and Shield, or you just need that comfort of using the Fulgore set bonus, you can totally use it. It's fine. Here's the decos for the set. Here's the set itself. Really straightforward. I still like this set. It's okay. It has a little bit more crit uptime, so you also gain like, I don't know, somewhere in the ballpark of 10 hits of sharpness over the 4 Gore Wex set. It's good. If you want to use those training wheels, if you want to continue using this set, it's totally, totally fine. It's great. Keep using it. It's fine. Just there's not really as many incentives to use it once you've mastered the weapon in comparison to using the 4-piece Gore set. So yeah, sucks for Fulgore a little bit, but still totally good set. You still totally use it, and I still recommend it. Now, the next set I have on the list is the 2-piece Zoh Shia set. And this set is because I get asked a lot for sets that are like, hey, can I get a little bit more comfort built into the set, a little bit more wiggle room on defense? So I understand that, and my general opinion is that you should be aiming to use the really strong defensive options in the Sword and Shield to mitigate any of this, and just, play well, and the 4-piece Gore set is going to outperform this by a decent bit. It's going to be great. However, if I just keep like saying all that out loud and read it back to myself, it just comes across as get good. And that's a little bit more exclusionary than I like to be, because some people, they're newer to the game, they're newer to the weapon, or they're just admittedly not quite as good at action games. So they want that extra little bit of a wiggle room. They want to have their comfort. Yeah, that's fair. That's totally fine. I think that's cool. So here is the decos for the set. Here's the set. And all it's really doing is it's dropping some of the 4-piece Gore set bonus, trying to fit in some more offensive skills to make up for it, and then offering you more 1 slots. And in those 1 slots, you could fit in Divine Protection, you could fit in a Recovery Jewel, so get some recovery speed and get that going, and also gain the 2-piece Zoh Shia set bonus, which is just free ticks of healing over time. It's not a lot, but it's a little bit, and combined with the Divine Blessing, you're going to get even more. If you don't like this setup, you can replace these decos with a few other things. You could even use this as a template to create your own comfort set. But if you do the setup this way, you get this good amount of extra comfort, and you only sacrifice around 2.5% of the damage of the optimized 4-piece Gore set. So this is totally fine. This is totally great. You can use it. And one extra little bonus is that you get this Guardian's Protection set skill, this group skill. And if you're fighting Zoh Shia itself, that's down in the ruins of Wyveria. This gives you a really hefty defense bonus while in that area, so it's really nice for specifically fighting Zoh Shia and a few other things. So if you want that defense, if you want those options, yeah, give this set a try. It's totally okay. Go for it. Great. So past that set, we can go over to the Scorcher set. Now this is a bit of a flavor set that is using the brand new Zoh Shia Sword and Shield. This thing has a unique effect attached to it called White Flame Torrent that is sets the weapon skill attached to it. And the way that works is that over time, while hitting enemies, occasionally, you just saw it there, you'll see a little white flame proc. And it happens every, I don't know, 6-7 seconds while hitting a monster. Come on. There it is, there's that proc. And normally it deals 50 flat damage. If you're in Scorcher, that stacks and deals a little bit more. And that's what we're doing here. So the Zoh Shia Sword and Shield is just really cool. It's got a lot of cool flavor attached to it. And yeah, it's neat. If you just want to run the Sword and Shield by itself with the 4-piece Gore set, it's a little bit better than doing this actually. And it's particularly good in dragon matchups. So yeah, cool thing to do. But if you like the flavor of this and you want to add that Scorcher on top of it, here's a set that does that. Here's the decos for you to look at for a second. Again, just pause if you need to get through all these. A couple extra 1 slots left over. Do whatever you feel is comfortable with those. It's totally fine. Yeah, here's a Scorcher set. It's flavorful. It's a little bit worse than the shredding Ardian style stuff for like the higher end of players, but for the average player, this is actually pretty decent. And yeah, you can totally use this. It's cool. It's neat. I really like it. So go give the Scorcher set a shot. And yeah, have fun getting your cool little flame procs all the time. It's great. I love it. So Scorcher set out of the way. And the last set's the Gobbler, and this is the wide range set. This is the same set from before the title update. If you're familiar with it before, nothing has really come along to change it, but it is a wide range set, and wide range is a cool little thing. I personally don't really use wide range a lot. I prefer to be doing sets that do more damage. You do lose a pretty big grip of damage to do stuff like this, but wide range is fun. And I understand some people really enjoy the support fantasy. I understand Sword and Shield's a popular weapon to do so because you can use items while your weapon's out. I get it. And it's flavorful. When I'm playing online on multiplayer, seeing people using unique different builds, it's just fun. It adds something to the game to see you wide rangers out there. So you know what? You guys have fun. Use your wide range set. It's pretty cool. Here's the decos. It uses a ton of decos. But yeah, that's the set. If you like wide range, this is a pretty good set for it that doesn't sacrifice too much damage, and it's great. So hopefully you'll see some of you wide rangers out there. Maybe we'll be using something like this. Maybe there's something better now. But for now, this is what I recommend if you're interested in playing a wide range set. So yeah, I think that about wraps everything up. I think we're totally cool now. So as a recap, 4-piece Gore with Zoh Shia chest. This is the set. This is the only set that like really is the optimal one to use. If you're only ever going to make one, use this. If you need a little bit more comfort, if you're learning the weapon, Fulgore's fine. It's totally fine. Just go ahead and use it. If you want even more defensive options, the 2-piece Zoh Shia set, it's cool. And if you want some more flavor, the Scorcher set, the Gobbler, they're waiting for you. They're neat. Use them. They're totally fine. And yeah, so that should wrap everything up. Hope you guys, enjoyed this and everything went pretty well. And maybe I'll see you the next time I make another guide or do a speedrun commentary or something like that. So thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll catch you in the next one.